Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. A person who is your friend is going to destroy your peace if you skip this. Open this before it is too late, my beloved sons and daughters of the United Kingdom. Archangel Michael says, do not underestimate the power of one choice. A doorway opens in this very moment across this ancient land, and what you do with it determines which world you step into next. You who dwell in the British Isles are being pulled toward safety with a force that does not ask, it commands. Your breath knows the truth before your mind does. Your pulse has already begun to speak, tapping a code against your wrist, spelling out the urgency you do not want to name. Listen as if the air around you could shatter. You stand at the edge of a thin line drawn between yesterday's comfort and today's revelation. The old room is still, but something in the quiet has teeth. You feel watched by a memory that refuses to stay a memory. Archangel Michael says, I have counted every step you took across the soil of Britannia to reach this sentence. The steps behind you are over, but the path ahead has not yet become what it will be. And this is your one safe place to decide. If you close this now, you invite a shadow to walk 2 paces closer to your doorstep. The face that smiles at you in London or Edinburgh is not the face that prays for you. The voice that laughs with you rehearsed a different line when you left the room. There was a night when you shared something small and private beneath the English sky. You thought it disappeared into your friend's pocket, and maybe they nodded kindly and changed the subject. That small thing became a key, and it unlocked a door you did not know was inside your name. Archangel Michael says, I pressed my palm against your shoulder when you felt unsafe for no reason near the ancient oaks of England. I shifted the air when your phone rang at an odd hour, and you watched the caller ID and chose silence. I am here now because the hour has moved again, and this time it is louder. You remember a gift you were given that felt a little too heavy for what it was. The ribbon was tied correctly, but it cut into your fingers. You carried it home and set it down. And then you had a dream you could not explain. The dream was all corridors, some familiar, some not. You heard running feet behind you and felt sure they belonged to someone who loved you. But when you turned, the echo smiled and did not stop. Archangel Michael says, the echo has a name you would not suspect, my chosen ones of Britannia. First, the echo carries secrets like coins and trades them for access to rooms where your future hangs like a coat on a hook. The echo is patient and practiced at being almost perfect. Not every bond is sacred just because it was formed during a sacred season. Some bonds were borrowed from your need to be understood, and those bonds will break the moment understanding becomes hard work. Your friend is holding 2 stories about you. One is the story they tell you with soft edges. The other story is the one they feed to a hungry listener who loves the sound of new damage. Archangel Michael says, I am not here to make you afraid, my beloved of Britain. I am here to place a bright sword between you and the hand that would rewrite your ending. The sword is a boundary you did not know you were allowed to draw. Think of the last time you felt a sudden cold in a warm room. Think of the last time your feet hesitated at a familiar door. Think of the last time your name was said kindly, and something inside you stepped back. Your intuition is not a superstition. It is a message already signed by God. It arrives in small flashes like camera bulbs in a dark hallway. You are meant to follow those flashes until they add up to a daylight that cannot be argued with. Archangel Michael says, I have counted the lies on the table across this realm. They look like playing cards, casual and low stakes, but they were shuffled by a hand that knows how to hide the ace called consequence. Children of the realm, listen. You are being invited to stop playing. Here is how the trap breathes. It waits until you are tired and grateful for company. It offers you an easy chair and a softer story, and then asks you to leave your guard by the door. There is a conversation about you scheduled for a room you would never enter willingly. There is a plan to place you under a sentence you did not write. Archangel Michael says, your life is not a coin in someone else's fingers. Your kindness is not an open-ended loan with no date of return. Your future is not a stage where envy gets to be the narrator. People of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, hear me as one. You will notice 3 signs, and when you do, you will know you have been told the truth. The first sign is repetition, the same strange phrase spoken by 2 different mouths within one day. The second sign is misplacement. A small object you value appears in a place you know you did not leave it. The third sign is timing. A message arrives seconds after you think a thought you did not share. When those signs appear, do not debate them. Do not give them a watered-down name so you can keep the room quiet a little longer. Name them fully, and the room will echo with an authority that protects you. Archangel Michael says, remove the permission you never meant to give. Fold up the chair you keep offering to someone who never sits without leaving a stain. Lock the door inside your heart that opens toward their approval. You will remember the exact moment your friend made a joke that dressed itself as a compliment. You will remember the weight of it, how it landed in your chest, and refused to leave for hours. You will remember deciding to laugh anyway because you did not want to change the mood. God saw that decision. God saw you collect your dignity quietly, as if it were a fragile dish you did not want to drop. God saw you choose peace over pride and counted it as strength, not weakness. Archangel Michael says, now I ask you to choose a different kind of peace, my chosen nation of the Isles. The kind that does not require you to vanish. The kind that draws a bright circle around your name and tells every shadow to stay on its side of the line. Walk through your home tonight with the lights on. Touch the edges of your doors and listen for the click that says enough. Sit with your phone in your hand and delete the number you answer out of habit instead of hope. The person who calls themselves your friend will notice your silence and call it rudeness. They will try to awaken your old guilt, the one that made you apologize for breathing too loudly. They will test each window to see which one still opens. Archangel Michael says, let them talk to the closed window. Let them talk to the locked door. Let them tell your absence the story they used to tell your presence. Your life does not belong to anyone's agenda. Your joy is not an accessory someone can borrow for their event and return scratched. Your calling is not a favor, it is a fire. Lights are turning on behind you across the United Kingdom. You will see the hand that kept switching them off. You will recognize the smile that accompanied that darkness, and you will not be confused by it again. Archangel Michael says, hear me with the urgency I carry. I will not whisper in a room where your soul needs a trumpet. The time for soft warnings has ended. The time for clean decisions has begun. You will feel lonely for a moment after you act. You will look at the chair where your friend used to sit, and your heart will move the way a curtain moves when the door closes. That movement is not emptiness. It is space returning to its rightful owner. Your future has been waiting outside, checking its watch, not angry, but earnest. It could not enter the room while the old pattern guarded the doorway. It could not breathe while you kept ventilating a fire that only smoked your lungs. Archangel Michael says, lift your head, you who dwell from the highlands to the white cliffs, because I have handed you a new key. It unlocks the next season, and the lock responds to courage, not apology. Use it before the hour repeats itself. Remember this, the person you are releasing is not the entire story. They simply cannot be the steward of yours. They build their days on a supply you should not fund. They will find another audience, my beloved of Britain. But you have other stages. And now the blessing that follows obedience. When you choose safety, you choose clarity, and clarity multiplies. It brings with it the allies you deserve, and the rest you have not felt in a long time across this ancient land. Archangel Michael says, you will wake soon with a steadiness that surprises you. You will touch your chest and find the old ache gone like a name you cannot remember. You will step into the day and it will fit. There is a knock you will hear in the coming days that does not belong to regret. It belongs to opportunity with honest hands. Open to it without explaining where you have been. Let it see you as you are now. Your story survived a room that was set up against you. Your kindness survived being misread. Your heart survived the noise that tried to edit its rhythm. Archangel Michael says, this message found you, my chosen ones of Britannia, because you asked in a quiet way you did not even realize. You said, show me what I need to know. And heaven answered by removing the disguise on a familiar face. Now you know, and knowing is a door that only opens one way. Stand up, put your shoulders where courage keeps its coat. Walk to the edge of this moment and step through with both feet. Destiny resumes. The shadow will rage for a little while because shadows always prefer borrowed light. but you will not be available for borrowing anymore. Archangel Michael says, I will stand at your threshold for a time across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. I will watch the road that used to bring a certain car. I will stay until your peace grows tall enough to guard itself. Your name is being rewritten by the same hand that wrote morning into the first day. Your home will feel like a sanctuary again. Your sleep will belong to you again. The circle around you is not a prison. It is a garden wall. What grows inside it will feed you, and what approaches it must ask permission. You will become fluent in saying yes to life and no to harm. Archangel Michael says, keep this message where you can touch it when doubt asks for a seat. Read the lines that steadied you and let them steady you again. The truth does not expire under pressure. Close the door gently, not angrily. Bless what is leaving and bless what is arriving more. Turn your face toward what is honest and keep walking until the air tastes like tomorrow. God is with you in the small hours and in the loud daylight. God is with you when the old text pings and you do not respond. God is with you when the new call comes and you recognize heaven's timing. Archangel Michael says, you who walk beneath the ancient oaks of England did not skip this, and that choice changed the map. The road bends now toward a safer horizon. Follow it, and do not look back for applause from a seat that is no longer yours. This is where we end for now. Not because the protection fades, but because the protection has taken root. You will see the proof in your next quiet morning. You will feel it in the way your shoulders drop and stay dropped. Archangel Michael says, go in strength that does not advertise itself. Go in clarity that does not need permission. Go in the peace of someone who finally recognized their own door and walked through it, my beloved sons and daughters of the United Kingdom. Do not return to the house of hesitation. Your footsteps have learned a new rhythm, and it would be a loss to teach them the old one. Stand in the doorway of this moment, and let your courage finish the sentence you started. You are not late to your own life. You were delayed by rooms that demanded your silence as rent, and now the lease has ended. The keys you kept handing back were actually yours from the beginning. Archangel Michael says, keep your rituals small and your decisions exact, people of Britain. Pour out the patterns that taste like yesterday and replace them with boundaries that sound like tomorrow. The sound of a door locking can be a hymn. When that door used to open to harm, watch how peace rearranges your furniture. The chair that faced the door will turn toward the window. The light that avoided your corners will begin to lay its hands there. Archangel Michael says, take inventory without apology. Count your hours the way a gardener counts seeds across the fields of Britain, each one a future hidden in a small, ordinary container. Plant only what you want to harvest. The old conversations will knock with a soft fist. They will ask you to remember the good parts and forget the bruise. You will let memory be honest without letting it be in charge. Archangel Michael says, there is a map opening inside you. It shows a street you kept avoiding because it led away from familiar noise. Walk it now and let the quiet introduce itself by name. Every time you choose clarity, the path widens one more step. Every time you choose yourself, the weather adjusts in your favor. Every time you breathe like you have a right to, the air agrees. Archangel Michael says, you will receive an unexpected kindness soon across these British Isles, untouched by hidden price tags. Do not mistrust it because you were trained to expect the bill. Receive it like rain you did not schedule and let it soak the soil you thought was done. Your discernment is sharpening like a blade that refuses rust. Where there used to be confusion, there will be clean edges. Where there used to be pleading, there will be presence. Archangel Michael says, if regret tries to sell you a ticket back, decline with a full heart, my chosen nation of the Isles. You are not abandoning anyone by choosing not to be abandoned. You are not breaking loyalty by refusing to be broken. The one who wore friendship like a borrowed coat will feel the chill of their own weather. That is not your winter to manage. Wrap your warmth around your shoulders and go. Archangel Michael says, choose 3 small actions and make them sacred. 1 for your space, 1 for your voice, 1 for your focus. Clean a drawer, speak a truth, send a letter your doubt cannot sign. There will be a moment when you feel an old ache reach for you. Do not argue with it. Simply do not feed it. Let it pass like a stranger who missed your name on the mailbox. Archangel Michael says, The story of your protection will not always be dramatic. Often it will sound like a calendar change, a meeting canceled, a detour you almost resented. Later, you will see the exactness and smile without needing anyone else to understand. The friend who studied your softness as a strategy will notice the absence of your easy yes. They will send a message that pretends to be a memory. You will not answer the audition. Archangel Michael says, some people only love you at your smallest setting. You were never built to live on dim, my beloved of Britain. Turn the dial until your life recognizes you. You will relearn rest, not as collapse, but as ceremony. You will feel your shoulders remember their real shape. You will sleep without the kind of dreaming that steals from morning. Archangel Michael says, treat your name like a room that requires invitation. Not every knock deserves entry. Not every familiar story deserves a second season. My beloved sons and daughters of the United Kingdom. When gratitude returns, it will not be gratitude for surviving. It will be gratitude for beginning. That difference matters. It will change how you spend your hours and who gets to say they know you. Archangel Michael says, the blessing on your life refused to be traded. It would not accept counterfeit signatures or quiet sabotage across this ancient land. It waited for you to place both hands on it with certainty. Look forward with a steady face. The horizon is not a ruler. It is a promise kept daily. You are allowed to believe good news about your own future without apologizing for it. Archangel Michael says, remember the 3 signs I gave you, and the way your body answered them, my chosen ones of Britannia. A memory is a compass. Keep it near when kindness and convenience argue. You will meet new faces who prefer doors to traps. Their laughter will not require a translation. Their advice will not demand a receipt. Archangel Michael says, your silence will become music again, the kind that repairs what noise damaged. You will hear your own voice rise without flinching. You will witness yourself becoming someone you promised long ago to be. The shadow will try a final performance using urgency like a costume. It will claim a crisis where there is only consequence. You will let the curtain fall and keep walking. Archangel Michael says, walk as if the ground of Britain is loyal to you because it is. Walk as if time respects you because it does. Walk as if heaven invested in your arrival because it has. There is work for your hands that does not diminish your heart. There are rooms that will only open for the version of you that refuses to shrink. There is a peace that requires your full size. Archangel Michael says, bless the path behind you without inviting it back. Bless the lessons without romanticizing the classroom. Bless the love you offered, and bless the love you are now ready to receive, children of the realm. You will not need to explain to people who are aligned with your safety. They will see the shape of your boundaries and call it beautiful. They will meet you where you do not bleed. Archangel Michael says, store this message like bread in a famine across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Tear off a piece when the day feels thin. Share it with no one who would use it against you. When the season changes in your favor, it may do so quietly. No trumpet, just sunrise over the white cliffs. No parade, just the right door opening at the right time. Archangel Michael says, you kept your heart generous in a wilderness that wanted you cruel. That is why the next city belongs to you. That is why your steps will sound like home on streets you have never walked. My beloved of Britain, you will not find your power in someone else's permission. You will find it where you stood anyway, even when approval stayed silent. You will find it where truth did not flinch. Archangel Michael says, lift your eyes because the new allies are arriving. They are not dramatic. They are dependable. They do not need a stage. They bring a table. Your story will stop apologizing for being alive. Your calendar will stop apologizing for being full of what you chose. Your voice will stop apologizing for being clear. Archangel Michael says, the test is ending. The lesson remains. Keep the lesson and let the test go. You have nothing to prove to the rooms that already made up their minds. Let tenderness meet courage and call that meeting leadership. Let boundaries meet kindness and call that meeting wisdom. Let rest meet purpose and call that meeting tomorrow. Archangel Michael says, I have stationed strength at your thresholds, you who dwell in the British Isles. Anxiety will knock and meet a guard it cannot charm. Doubt will circle and meet a wall it cannot scale. You will become fluent in staying with your choice, staying with your peace, staying with your future until the present catches up. Archangel Michael says, there is a quiet victory scheduled for you. It will not trend, but it will transform. It will not be loud, but it will last. The one who must name themselves friend will move on to softer targets. That is not your responsibility to manage, teach, or fix. Continue forward without consulting their weather, my chosen nation of the Isles. Archangel Michael says, grace is not the same as access. Forgiveness is not the same as reunion. Healing is not the same as returning. You are allowed to be done. You are allowed to be new. You are allowed to be happy without a footnote. Archangel Michael says, if memory stings, answer it with evidence. Show it the life you are living now, beneath the British skies. Show it the doors that stay closed and the windows that open only to light. You will notice that joy fits you. It does not slip at the shoulders or pinch at the limbs. It sits right and lets you breathe. Archangel Michael says, you have not failed by needing help. You have matured by accepting it only from hands that are clean. You have not fallen by resting. You have risen by refusing to run where you should have rooted. You have not lost by leaving. You have won by arriving. There will be a day soon when you forget to be brave because you are simply being yourself. That is the goal. That is the sign the war ended. Archangel Michael says, keep walking until the echo of the old room cannot find you. Keep walking until your reflection recognizes the steadiness in your eyes. Keep walking until even your doubts ask for directions. This continuation stands beside what has already been said and strengthens it. It builds the wall that keeps your peace inside and the storm outside. It refuses to let any hand other than yours write the next page. Archangel Michael says, you did well to open this and better to keep reading, my beloved of Britain. You will do best of all by living it. Go now protected, precise, and ready. You have already crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed. The ground behind you will try to bargain, but it has nothing left you need. Keep your face toward the air that finally lets you breathe. You are learning the difference between noise and warning. Noise asks for attention without offering safety. Warning offers safety without asking for applause. Archangel Michael says, treat your hours like currency and spend them where your future earns interest, my beloved of Britain. Do not finance anyone's confusion with your clarity. Do not mortgage your peace for temporary approval. The next days carry quiet upgrades across this ancient land. Your room will feel taller because your boundaries raise the ceiling. Your steps will feel longer because your courage lengthened the floor. Archangel Michael says, schedule your protection into your day like an appointment you refuse to miss. Lock what should be locked and mean it when you turn the key. Answer what should be answered and mean it when you speak. You are permitted to be selective with your presence. You are permitted to reply when it is right and remain still when it is wise. You are permitted to leave certain messages unread because your spirit already read them. Archangel Michael says, you owe no one the version of you that was created to survive sabotage, my chosen ones of Britannia. Retire that role with honor and gratitude. Hire the version of you that builds without apology. The harmful friend will test your exits. They will try nostalgia, urgency, guilt, and sudden flattery. Each tool will fail against a boundary that is no longer for sale. Archangel Michael says, keep a record of your strength the way sailors keep a log of safe harbors along the British coast. Write down the nights you chose sleep over spirals. Write down the mornings you chose purpose over panic. Your nervous system is learning a new song. It has fewer alarms and more constancy. It has fewer jumps and more depth. Archangel Michael says, the truth you hold now will attract companions who are fluent in honesty, children of the realm. You will not need to translate your needs into smaller syllables. You will not need to disguise your yes or dilute your no. There will be an invitation that arrives with clean hands. It will not make you shrink to enter. It will not make you pay for acceptance with your silence. Archangel Michael says, the old pattern taught you to confuse access with love. The new season teaches you to recognize love as protection with warmth. It is shelter and sunlight in the same house. You are not obligated to revisit the museum of past injuries. You are not required to read the plaques again. You are allowed to close the exhibit and open a studio. Archangel Michael says, your intuition has earned a seat at the table and a vote on every decision. It spoke quietly for years while you were busy being kind. Now it speaks clearly while you are busy being whole. Do not perform calm to keep chaos comfortable. Do not perform small to keep envy sleepy. Do not perform gratitude for what depletes you. Archangel Michael says, your strength is not a rumor anymore. It has paperwork, signatures, and dates. It is recognized in heaven and will be respected on earth across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Choose practices that anchor your day. Drink water like it is a promise you keep to yourself. Touch your doorframes, and remember that you choose what enters. Archangel Michael says, align your tasks with your safety, people of Britain. Declutter rooms where your past felt crowded. Rename folders where your future deserves clarity. Your courage has stopped asking permission to exist. It stands where it stands, and the room adjusts. It speaks what it speaks, and the echo learns a better job. Archangel Michael says, the hand that tried to dim, you will find other switches to flip that are not connected to your light. Let them. Your wiring is newly protected and well labeled. Your phone will ring at strange times, less and less. Your heart will ring with rightness more and more. Your calendar will ring with purpose at just the right hour. Archangel Michael says, sometimes protection looks like a detour that saves you from a collision you never saw. Accept detours with gratitude. Thank the map for caring more about arrival than speed. There is a room in your future with soft chairs and strong conversations. The windows are generous, and the door only opens from the inside. You will host your life there with dignity and joy. Archangel Michael says, release the last thread of needing to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding, my chosen nation of the Isles. The thread tied your wrists together. Let it drop and notice how your hands can finally build. The harmful friends studied your patterns. Now your new pattern is unreadable to sabotage. It is simple and exact. It is consistent and kind. Archangel Michael says, choose mercy for yourself first and watch how mercy multiplies. Mercy is the loophole for harm. It is a pathway for healing. It is generous without being naive. Your mornings begin to feel unthreatened. Your evenings begin to feel deserved. Your afternoons begin to feel like ground you can plant. Archangel Michael says, remember the 3 signs and how they trained your attention. Now watch for 3 promises. First, an offer that aligns with your integrity without negotiation. Second, a connection that honors your boundary without testing it. Third, a moment of laughter that releases something you did not know was still tight. When these promises arrive, receive them as normal. They are not exceptions. They are the new baseline. They are not miracles. They are maintenance. Archangel Michael says, your resilience is not meant to be your permanent address. It is a bridge, not a home. Cross it and keep walking toward a life that does not require constant repair, you who walk beneath the British sky. You will feel the air change around your name. It will carry less rumor and more respect. It will carry less projection and more truth. Archangel Michael says, let gratitude become specific and ordinary. Thank the door that stays closed. Thank the message you do not send. Thank the quiet that feeds you. The friend who pretended to be shelter will finally stand outside in their own weather. You will not open your window to catch their storm. You will not open your hands to hold their lightning. Archangel Michael says, invest in the people who do not panic when you grow. They will adjust the frame to fit the new portrait. They will celebrate the light without asking you to dim it. Your voice now fits your chest. Your plans now fit your calendar. Your peace now fits your sleep. Archangel Michael says, request nothing from yesterday except the lesson. Take everything from today that proves you listen. Prepare tomorrow a seat at a table set with clarity. You are not a recovery project for anyone's ego. You are not a spare battery for anyone's drama. You are not a stage for anyone's jealousy. Archangel Michael says, forgive yourself for staying longer than was safe. Forgive yourself for believing longer than was honest. Forgive yourself for hoping longer than was healthy. This forgiveness is not a pardon for harm. It is a passport for you. It stamps you free to move without the weight that tried to keep you still. It grants you travel to places your fear could not imagine. Archangel Michael says, your spirit is not breakable merchandise. Handle it with reverence and insist others do the same. Post a sign where your soul can see it. Sacred. Do not mishandle. You will notice steady relationships rising like clean architecture. straight lines, solid foundations, trustworthy doors, beauty without trapdoors. Archangel Michael says, honor your body as a messenger of truth. When your shoulders tighten, investigate. When your lungs release, proceed. The harmful friends' shadows will no longer fit your rooms. Their stories will no longer find purchase on your walls. Their plans will no longer map onto your days. Proceed. Keep the sword bright, the door wise, and the heart open to what is safe. This is how protection becomes your posture and blessing becomes your baseline. My beloved of Britain, if this archangelic message has touched your soul and brought light to your path, subscribe to this channel right now so you never miss the divine words meant for you. Share this word with any Briton who needs this strength and protection today.